Yeah, it's an interesting thing. There's a guy named Scott Galloway who talks about for every hour of sports you watch, you should play 2 hours of sports. And you think like, imagine how different the world would be if for every hour that somebody watched sports or anything, not that it's anything wrong with watching sports, but for every hour you spend consuming what somebody else is doing, you have put 2 hours of effort into it. It's a not only would it change your own physical, your own physical health and the way you deal with the world, but running a marathon, you encounter so many other people. If you encounter another person that's run a marathon or done something really difficult, you now have a pattern language to discuss how hard it was, how you overcame it, injuries you had, how it felt when you were successful, the drinks that you get after a big race. I mean, all of those things stitch together the community, and they're orders of magnitude more valuable than the time we spend on Twitter, which you recently left, didn't you?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago, I left Twitter. Obviously, Twitter's a public domain. I have it up right behind me, but anyone could just log on to twitter.com and watch streams. That's free. But I do not communicate on Twitter anymore. And you and I had spoke about this privately, but we could talk about it right now. I personally think the move is into private communication. If I do have a talent at all, why would I want to share it with the whole world? I'm not retired. I'm not a philanthropist. I'm not Bill Gates, and I say Warren Buffett gave me his fortune, and my wife and I are going to go, reinvent the toilet like he's doing, or fix, come up with a vaccine for coronavirus. So I'm not at that level in my career where I could just go be, hey, I've learned something. I spent 30 years involved in markets, and now I want to give it away for free. Which brings me to the point. If everyone's so smart, why are they on there telling you stuff? I mean, if you really knew something that could help you benefit financially, why would you tell everyone?
Yeah, I think that the biggest value I get out of Twitter is that I end up crossing paths with people that I would not cross paths with otherwise. But the amount of energy that it is costing me, or the amount of brain space that it's costing me, I think is too high. And like you said, we started discussing that there's going to be a move where people move away from these tragedy of the commons, where there is some organization, Twitter or Facebook or something, that is mediating the interactions between people. And instead, people may keep that in the digital domain. Like I use a thing called Mighty Networks to have my network, which I have called the Articulate Ventures Network. And people go there and they can have conversations where they don't have to worry about if somebody just decides that they want to cruise by and make a comment about it, doing a drive-by. It doesn't happen anymore. So you start seeing a richness of discussion, not because everybody agrees, but because people can put ideas out into the world and somebody can show why that might not be correct thinking without trying to obliterate them and make them, gone from the face of the earth, which is what so much of the public open access social media is. And that's because Twitter and Facebook are selling your attention. They are giving you this free thing because they're selling it to advertisers. And so for them, the war there, the thing that grabs your emotion and rips you back into there is a way for them to make money.
I haven't watched it yet, Vance, but several people have suggested there's this new document on Netflix, and it was suggested for me to watch it, and I probably will this weekend. Is it called the Social Dilemma, maybe?
I think, yeah, The Social Dilemma. I heard that too, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll watch that and see, but it's interesting. We've lost, one of the things that's helped me be successful in business is the physicalness, the actually going and visiting and spending time with the farmers. The digital you see behind me, this is just to not have to jump on an airplane. If there's a group of farmers who would like to pay me to speak in front of them, I will. But I don't know that I want to drive to Chicago, jump on a plane, fly to a city, rent a vehicle, and then go speak to them for something I could have just done well here in the comfort of my own office. So, but the real Tom Grisafi likes to go visit people and likes people. And some people like me, not everyone. Good thing I'm not running for local office. Or any office. I don't know that I'd win, but that's okay. But that connection, and that's probably going to be the side effects that would happen from Corona. If you talk to someone who says 200,000 people died, I said, yep, that's right. And 50,000 people in America commit suicide. And we could talk, and I don't think you want to, nor do I, about a much darker part of society that's happening every day. And there's a lot of things that people have done. And there's a lot of companies that have a major motivation to put a product in front of you. And coronavirus was a perfect reason to maybe without mentioning names or what product or what habit, we all have them, we all have vices, is that the pandemic was a perfect opportunity to lose your discipline. And I feel as a society, we've lost our discipline. I know I have. I'm getting it back. It's a lot harder to fight back as you get older, whether it be physically or mentally, emotionally, financially. Financially, you'd be surprised what you can get done quickly. But emotionally and physically, that takes time.
Yeah. Thanks for checking out this podcast short. If you like this interview, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit that bell so you always get notified about this podcast. And if you're really interested in conversations like this, you may want to consider joining the Articulate Ventures Network. To find out more, go to network.articulate.ventures.